Let's talk about Wendy Williams and Diddy because Wendy just made it crystal clear she is not here for Diddy or his antics. She had some very strong words for him, and it seems like she's on a mission to take him down for good. Wendy's been out of the spotlight for a while, but now she's back. And let me tell you, she came out of retirement guns blazing. No hesitation, no filter, just pure smoke for Diddy. So what did Wendy say about Diddy? And wait, did she just confirm those wild rumors about him trying to silence her? Let's break this down. Fans have been begging for Wendy's return, especially with all the recent lawsuits and people finally calling Diddy out for his shady behavior. Well, guess what? She's back and she didn't disappoint. Wendy delivered the tea in classic Wendy style, spilling all the messy details and then some. But before we dive into what she said, let's ask the big question. Why does Diddy even have beef with Wendy in the first place? Sure, Wendy was controversial back in her prime, and a lot of celebs weren't her biggest fans. But with Diddy, it's deeper. He seems to genuinely hate her. Here's the kicker: Wendy and Diddy weren't always enemies. In fact, they used to get along pretty well. Let's rewind to December 1991, long before Diddy created Bad Boy Records. Back then, he and Heavy D put together a charity basketball game at City College of New York. The goal: raise money for AIDS foundations and do something positive. But what started as a good cause turned into a tragedy. The event was oversold and chaos broke out. People were injured, lives were lost, and the fallout was catastrophic. The scandal left a mark, and the connection between Wendy and Diddy took a sharp turn. What happened? Next, let's just say the bad blood has been boiling ever since, leading to a chaotic stampede that left 9 people dead and 29 injured. Did he receive a lot of criticism for the catastrophe, particularly after it was revealed that the money purportedly contributed for those charities never reached them, which only made things worse? According to some of the groups, they were unaware that he was using their names to raise money. One of the few people who supported Diddy despite the media's relentless attacks on him was Wendy Williams, who blamed it on a misunderstanding and asked fans to be patient with him, arguing that he should be given an opportunity to put things right. But when Diddy's work came in, the way things worsened. There are rumors that Wendy Williams discovered a picture of Diddy in a well-compromising position. According to the report, while on a group vacation in Cancun, a man was seen pulling Diddy's pants down in a scene captured by someone.
Puff got one of the hottest DJs off of Hot 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down. You understand what I'm saying? Puff had power.
Speaking of that, right, I'm happy you brought that up. Kirk Burrows, I did an interview with him some months ago, and he told a story about Wendy Williams. She got fired from Hot 97 because she had a picture of Puffy, and she was saying on air that she was going to reveal the picture. If you don't mind, because he told me the story, but he didn't go into detail. He never told me about what was in the picture. So if you don't mind, give me the story from your point of view and what was in the picture, because for some reason, he never went into detail about that.
We were in Cancun, and we were on our way to the Island of Women. You understand? And this is all it was, bruh. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. When he grabbed his trunk to pull them down, some girls that was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position and like he was gay, something like that. And she was gonna put it out. So they stopped her from putting it out.
And they got her fired from Hot 97 because of that.
As if the purported photo drama wasn't filthy enough, there's also talk that Diddy went even lower. According to rumors, he attempted to have his girl group members jump Wendy. The sum.
I remember I got off the air one day and them the total bitches were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married. My knight in shining armor screeched up in his car just out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. Skell hiding like a girl. Thanks, Skell. I'm standing in the door like, what? And I'm literally about to go through. Now, I'm not like, what, let's fight. Because I'm not one of those type of...
In an interview a few years prior to her retirement from television, Wendy Williams discussed this and was quite sour about it.
There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams. And she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now...
Needless to say, their relationship never stayed the same, which isn't shocking, given that you all know Wendy isn't amenable to people making fun of her or things like that. You only need to ask her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, and his girlfriend, Sharina, how much Wendy sucked them. All right, let's get back to Diddy's attempt to get Wendy jumped. Wendy Williams wasn't going to be silenced by a little drama involving Total. Diddy was in for another surprise if he believed that pursuing her with his lady gang would frighten her into silence. When Wendy clapped back, she didn't hold back and responded with greater vigor than before, turning up the heat on him and pouring even more tea. She went for the juggler a few months after the near run-in with Total leaking a picture of Justin Combs, Diddy's son, hanging out with Sugay Knight. Given the existing severe animosity between him and Sugay, Diddy's largest op speak about his didn't where it hurt. The photo was extremely embarrassing for him. Go back 30 years if you believe that Diddy and Sugay's tension is awful. Now this was the height of the East Coast versus West Coast rivalry, and the two were bitterly opposed to one another. Wendy was well aware that she was inadvertently making matters worse. Diddy's drama was his own brewing at the time with Justin and his mother, Misa Hilton. He was out there denying that he was Justin's father, stating bluntly that the child wasn't his, and accusing Misa of trying to blame him for another man's child. However, because of his inflated ego, he couldn't bear the idea of Justin with his biggest op because it was like a slap in the face. The worst part is that while Diddy was busy evading paternity claims, rumors were already circulating about how he treated Misa behind closed doors, and Gan said it wasn't pretty. Diddy allegedly used physical violence against her, and it sounded blatantly cruel. It wasn't an isolated incident.
That for you, because
Misa was out there. She was messing with the dude from EPMD. That's why Puff first beat her ass.
Misa reportedly needed money to care for Justin because Diddy was acting like a Debbie, which is why she was with Sugay in the first place. However, when Diddy saw the photo, he became outraged. That wouldn't have occurred if he had treated Misa and his son with respect. Diddy began assaulting Wendy after that, hitting her hard each time. In an interview, Wendy's now ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, also discussed this, exposing how almost Diddy destroyed Wendy's life and career.
Is it true that Diddy got her fired from the radio station? Did he have anything to do with that?
I think that he had, yes, I think he has. Well, let's be clear, nobody got fired.
Okay.
He got suspended.
Okay.
Yeah. Did he use his influence and power with Steve Smith and him at the time, and God knows whatever his relationship was with the overall station, because Bad Boy was a powerhouse. We all know how Bad Boy dominated a large part of the 90s. And as far as New York, there was a powerhouse. So was he, King Joffrey Joe? Yeah. Did he go in there and shake him up and say, yo, I want this chick off?
If there's one thing about Wendy, it's that she always had her ear to the street and could see right through Diddy's nonsense. So when Cassie finally broke free from his hold and Diddy pulled his whole romantic stunt, she was one of the first people to see through him and realize that he wasn't exactly the good guy that he was pretending to be. However, Wendy was as stubborn as they come because she kept pursuing Diddy heavily. Remember that public plea Diddy made when he claimed that Cassie was his only true love, that he couldn't live without her, and that he was apologizing to most people in a supposedly sincere manner. It may have looked sweet to Wendy, but she knew better and saw it for what it was: damage control. Wendy offers some intriguing observations regarding the split, implying that there was much more going on in that relationship behind the scenes than we were aware of.
My thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them, because if you use your head, you never know when they're going to pop up on the scene. Like, he's mogul, like he can hire a plane right now, zoom it to South Africa, land on the roof of the hotel where she's staying, okay? Pay people off at the front desk, give me the key and let me up in her room. Like, I'm already paranoid as a person. But to know that somebody could actually swoop down on me in the middle of nothing.
Michael Jackson's song, The Lady in My Life, was screenshotted by Diddy, who wrote, "Tell Cassie to listen to this song 100 times if you see her this weekend." We were moved by this article because although everyone else regarded it as romantic, we believed that he was truly in love with her, was sad to see her depart, and wanted her back. Wendy called him out on it after seeing through the facade. Given what we now know about Diddy, she implied that he had been extremely domineering with Cassie, and that things weren't as they seemed. Let's just say that Wendy was correct all along. Unfortunately, she was battling some health issues, so she wasn't present when it all happened. Her team released a statement saying in 2023, after undergoing a battery of medical tests, Wendy was officially diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontal-temporal dementia. Her symptoms, which combine impact her language and communication, behavior and cognitive functions, have already presented significant hurdles in Wendy's life. Despite this, supporters had been fervently hoping she would return, since we knew she would have the most insightful analysis of the circumstances. Since she recently sat down for an interview about Diddy, it appears that she is finally recovering. However, it is obvious that Wendy has been relishing the commotion and Diddy's demise.
7 years ago because of Diddy. All these years later to see where Diddy currently is. What do you feel about that situation?
Right. Hey, when I watch TMZ and I see the stuff that goes on, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden I see me on TMZ. You know what I'm saying? It's really weird seeing me on TV when I'm caught in this position. You know what I'm saying? The other day I was watching Cookout, and there I am in the first opening scene. I was like, oh my God. Season 1, episode 13, there I am on Martin. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Diddy will go to prison for life, people. You don't know things that I knew about Diddy back in the day, and you want to know what? It's about time, people. It is about time. Diddy done.
She still got it.
Diddy done. Do-da day.
How you doing? See, she still got it. Wendy.
Oh my God. The queen has spoken. There you have it.
That's right. This is just the first step of many.
Diddy is done as she stated, and she is live for the drama, as I mentioned. Well, fans had a lot to say about this, and they left comments like Wendy Williams still got it, not she said, Diddy done, and it's about time, she still knows things. Wendy saying Diddy done, she still got it, get her chair, a camera, and the baby mama chart. Now and okay, Wendy Williams. What did you know? And when did you know it? And why didn't you tell anyone? It's always the same story. Epstein-Weinstein. The people only speak out when everything is already public. Maybe we could have gotten our Diddy done moment years ago. Let me know what you think of this by leaving a comment below and then watch this following video.